back to another video today. Now, you're like, dude, this person hasn't uploaded in so long, which is understandable. Now, this is different. I'm going to watch Tokyo Ghoul soon, so I'm more in depth with anime. And you're like, that makes sense. You've only really done Naruto shit. Oh, dang. You've only really done Naruto stuff. And yes, you're right. I've only really done Naruto stuff. So, we'll switch it up here and do what if Deku had all for one? Now, you're like, it is going to be like most stories. I've not watched the other stories, so I don't know how it's going to start. But, if you want me, if you're okay, I can make a what if that's scripted. And if you're okay, I can make it, and you're like, don't worry, if the person hasn't replied to you yet, whether or not you can use it. If you would like me to use it, I will use it, but if you say, don't do that, it'd be kind of like stealing. I won't use it, and I'll just go with my normal storytelling. Now, I'm sorry, I'm just happy. And thank you all for like 480 subscribers. I'm going to 1,000 really fast. If we keep up this pace, I'll be at 1,000 by the end of this year. And I thank you all for that. But, without further ado, let's get in to the video. Play the intro. Okay, so... Wait, actually, that's stupid, because I played the intro before this. Dang. That might sound stupid. Okay, I'm sorry. If you want to make fun of me in the comments, I'm allowing that. So, we then will see a little boy. He was named Deku. Now, Deku is with his family right now. Well, with his mother in the hospital. He is right now being told he will forever be quirkless. Now, let's, Oh, and if you want me to steal someone's quirk first with Deku's all-for-one power... I mean, all-for-one power, yeah. Or all-for-one power. Tell me in the comments which one he should steal first. Like, we can do, Shoto. We can do, Ida. We can do other people. Just tell me in the comments and I will do it. Because I'm wanting to see him overpowered. Let's make him as overpowered as possible in this. Why don't we? Imagine that. Well, let's continue. So basically, Deku goes home. There's a lot of pictures of All Might, as he is still such a fan of All Might. He's the #1 hero. As you're like, this is not good vibes for villain, Deku. Maybe so, but you'll see why in a second. So, his life goes pretty much the same as it did. You'd be like, oh yeah, he'd be wanting to become a hero. He'd hate villains. Yes, until this one day happens. We see All for One doing something right now. He's walking down the road, as no one suspects him, because he's kinda hiding himself. Then Deku. Well, actually, no, let's go to his kid self. Deku bumps into All for One while All for One was walking. As Deku was so upset that he didn't have a quirk, he was crying, basically. Now, the way All for One would give a quirk to Deku is by blood. He'd have to stick a needle in Deku's arm. So he'd be able to get All for One. So yeah. I'm pretty sure because you can't really give All for One to many other people, or he probably would have done that. So he has to do it, like, one for all. I'm gonna make that thing. If not, you can still correct me in the comments. I won't judge you for that. But now, let's continue. As All For One looks down, he's looking at Deku, and he kind of sees Shigaraki in him. You know, a crying boy in the streets, and he sees just as much potential, because he saw he was running from the hospital, and that's pretty far away. So he All For One bends down, asking, "What's wrong? What's your name, kid?" The kid looks up and says, "My name is Midoriya." I don't know how to say Izuka Midoriya, I'm pretty sure. And All For One says, "Midoriya, why'd you run from the hospital?" As Midoriya starts to cry even more. As we're not going to call him Deku until his high school. Or I think he was called Deku from preschool. We're going to keep on calling him Deku, but he refers to himself as Midoriya. Now, All For One said, Midoriya, why are you crying?" As then he snuffles, saying, "I'm quirkless." As he starts to cry even more. As All For One bends down and says, "Quirkless, you will be the strongest person in one day. And hopefully when you're older, maybe going into high school, we can meet up again, and I will treat you to something special." As All For One was like, "I've lived way too long. I can give my quirk away to someone strong and able-bodied, and he'd be the perfect subject." As Midoriya started hugging All For One, as you know, he felt that comfort. As basically All For One is trying to cheer up him, get him to his side. As Midoriya said, "You must be a hero." As All For One chuckled, saying, "Well, I'm kind of one, but I work for something different. Peace would be amazing in this world. I agree with the heroes, but they try to achieve it by destroying all villains. Now, I would think taking away people's quirks, making villains, making heroes, making conflict would be the easiest solution. That's why my quirk helps. I think he gave out a bunch of quirks, but I think he's trying to fix the world right now. Enforce his law, his rule. I'm pretty sure. If I get anything wrong, please put it down in the comments, because I'm stupid and I need help. I'm also high on G Fuel, so yeah. Well, we are going to skip until Midoriya goes in high school. Now, I sound like a cat, jeez. Now, Midoriya is going to be, Deku is going to be standing in front of, the goo monster that's holding, I was about to call him Kachan, but then if he was in real life, he'd probably kill me. Not, to be honest, Bakugo. And Bakugo is, like, struggling. Midoriya obviously runs in, as the same thing happened with All Might and him protecting. So Midoriya was thinking about All For One. He says, "I will meet All For one day." As he then runs, because he looked up to All For One. He wanted a peaceful world, as he sees this is not peaceful. Oh, should I give him the wood quirk? Oh, he could steal from... Oh, yeah. Okay. So, basically, what we're going to do is... he's going to run and start tearing up the goo monster. Everything happens the same, basically. So one day, before All Might came, All for One was there. As he watched, as he saw Deku's heroics, seems like he'd be a great hero, but even better villain. Imagine him in the pursuit of this world being gone of all this quirk. It would be perfect. Yeah, just quote me if I'm getting this wrong, and I'll change the story completely next time for episode 2. And also put in the comments what videos you want me to make today. Because, like, I'm rejuvenated. I can make anything you guys want. Except One Piece, Dragon Ball Z, and Tokyo Ghoul. Because I'm dumb. I don't watch that much anime. So I just finished My Hero Academia, finished Naruto, going on to Tokyo Ghoul. So, if you want me to do an anime, please tell me. But, like, remember, it might take me some time to watch the anime to know what's going on, okay? And please don't attack me for not watching any of those 3 animes, please. I know I'm a dumbass, but not that much of a dumbass. And I probably should make this 18+. Or I might get a strike. I think I should be good. I think. I'm sorry if you guys are kids and you're watching this near your parents. I'm really, really sorry. But let's continue. Because we have to be happy. As All Might saw that Deku wasn't there actually. Deku had followed All for One. And All for One was training. Now, I think it's going to have to be the same training as One for All, because you have to have a strong physical body to take on that much quirks. And my friend said you need a good recovery quirk to take on more quirks. So obviously All for One is going to give Deku a really strong recovery quirk. I don't know what it'd be called, but it's whatever. So, yeah. Deku goes through the same training in high school. All Might has been trying to look for Deku for a while, but never been able to. As All for One is smiling underneath that mask of his. As Deku says, wait, so are you a hero or villain? I still don't understand. All for One said, I'm a villain, but I'm trying to better the world. Taking down villain by villain one at a time isn't really good. As Deku finally he's becoming a villain. As villain Deku would be sick, as it was in the anime, so I'm having villain Deku. And what should the ship be? Should it be Uraka? Should it be the girl that produces acid slime? Should it be Toga? Oh, should it be Toga? Comment down below if you want it to be Toga. Because, I mean, I'd love to make something happen there. Obviously, I'm not doing Bakugo. Or, what's his name? Oh my gosh, I just said it like 5 minutes ago. Bakugo. Or Kachan, whatever. Oh my gosh, I can't even say it. So, what we do is, during the high school's about to start, but before that, All Might gave Deku a sample of his blood, as is the only way to transfer the quirk, All for One. As is the way I'm making it. And yes, All for One would be soon out of commission. Like All Might. And All Might also found a successor. You know one of the top 3 heroes in the high school? You know, that's one's under Night Eye? I forget his name. But yeah, he will have All for One's quirk. Because he was a consideration. So yeah. You're all like, what a loop. He's about to die. Well, let's continue. As Deku asks, what's this? As All for One said, it's my quirk. as I'm passing it on to you. And soon you will meet my disciple. As you will be the replacement of me when I die. Or, yes, when my quirk runs out, and you will take a lot of this. So, I will obviously give you shock resorbent. You know that he put in the Ayumis that can literally serve. Well, he can't take multiple quirks. He made a person crazy. So yeah. But okay, imagine Deku can take multiple quirks and not look like all for one. And he'd be fine. He'd not be in Naomi. So yeah, just please let me put a pivot in the little thing right there. As we anime things have to kind of make a pivot. So we will then continue. As I'm going to make this 30 minutes long. So I just need to take a breather. Okay, so we are going to do in the high school. We obviously see that Deku can take a lot of punches. And he also has good recovery quirk. So, and he learned all for one. So he can basically take anyone's quirk. So, guess what quirk he's taking? If you guessed the Class B person who could turn himself into steel, you're correct. Well, no, because he has shock resorption. Why would he need that? Or whatever. So, what Deku does is he then the test happens. As Deku's been taught a couple things. So he knows the way to get in. Basically, it's a cheat. And hold on, let me pause this real quick. So, he's obviously going to do something to get in. So, what he will do is I might just skip. Imagine if I just skip. Okay, before this, let's say he took shock absorption and the steel and the iron guy would be overpowered. Yeah, let's say he took the Class B iron person, actually. It's quirk. Hold on. Give me a second, actually. Okay, well. Yeah, the guy who would have the iron quirk would not have it anymore, and that would be really bad for the high school examination if people liked him. Sorry. So Deku obviously eats a ton of iron before going into it. Because they had a little break before going into it. So he did that. So yeah. He has some iron in his system now and he can defeat some robots. As we skip past that whole entire part because I don't want to illustrate it all. Can you guys be a little bit lenient with me today, please? Oh my gosh. And you're like, no, continue from where you left off on, and because you haven't posted in 2 weeks. I'm really sorry about that. And I'll make a part 2 to whatever you want. Or make a whole new one. Because, just imagine. So, what we will be doing is going to, I guess, Mr. Aizawa's thing. So, should he steal anything from Class A? Oh, imagine if he stole Mr. Aizawa's quirk. He'd be temporary quirkless. And Deku could shut off people's quirks. Be cool, but no. And one thing before I left it off, before that little time skip, All for One was watching. And then All For One gave Deku a quirk that was basically strength. Like, strong strength that could go with the iron. It could be amazing. So, yeah. But All For One is losing his powers. He's realized that. So, he just is making as much Nayumis as possible. So, yeah. Basically, Deku passes with flying colors. He's actually in the top 1. Now, should he steal Shoto's? Oh, if you want me to steal Endeavor's quirk and Blood Curdle, tell me. Because I'd really want to see that. I'm not forcing you guys to do anything, I promise. So, yeah. Basically, he passes. He goes home and tells his mom, I passed. She's like, good. I mean, I didn't get expelled. And everyone else stayed in Class A because Mr. Ozawa was feeling nice. So, yeah. He's kind of cheerful when All Might and, and Deku's mother visits. When he sees Deku's mother and All For One. So, guess what All For One's going to do? He's going to show up at, Midoriya's mother's. As he's going to say, hello there, Miss Midoriya. Or is he called, no, I think he's Miss, we're going to call her Miss Midoriya. I have been training your son here. I actually let him take my quirk. For I believe there's so much potential in him. As Deku says, thanks. His mother then is so surprised. He then says, I have to leave, I'm sorry, but your son's doing phenomenal. As he then leaves. As Deku says, goodbye. As All For One is saying goodbye. So yeah, the little son relationship there. So yeah. And then we go for when All Might is going through the exam, as all the teams are the same. So it was Deku versus Bakugo, as Bakugo is pissed that Deku got a better score than him. So, like, royally pissed, as he's so mad. But Deku, I'm sorry for all the Bakugo lovers there. I'm going to have him beat up Bakugo real quick. For the exam. Please don't get mad. If you get mad, I'll be sad. So, basically, they start to walk in. As Deku tells Araka to find the bomb. She nods as she goes off. Deku doesn't really like anyone. Like as boyfriend, So far. And then we see as Bakugo's like, do you think you can take me on, Deku? For your word means loser. 'Cause you are one. Deku then smiles as he says, I'm the loser. As he starts to laugh evilly, as he then says, how am I the loser if I got a better score than you? And Deku doesn't mean loser anymore. It means, it means greatness. You could do whatever. As Bakugo gets even angrier as he goes in for the explosion. As obviously Deku's not going to take Bakugo's quirk, but Deku turns into steel. As Deku punches Bakugo in the gut. As Bakugo starts to cough up a little blood. Deku then turns off his quirk, going back to normal. As he then punches Bakugo, as Bakugo gets sent into a wall. as he then gets up, as he then pulls the grenade pin on his arm blaster. As if you want to know what Midoriya's costume looks like. Basically the same, but red and gold. With a little touch of black. So, yeah, as Deku then smiles as it hits him. As All Might was looking. But Deku was fine. His clothes were a little torn, but that shock absorption is doing him well, let's just say. As Araka finds a bomb, as Deku then says, well, sorry, Kachan, but time has ended for you, as he turns into steel or iron, as he punches Bakugo, as Bakugo then falls to the ground, as Deku then goes up the stairs, as he then sees Ida, as Ida says, what happened to Bakugo? Deku then says, I handled him, don't worry about it, he's fine. Well, time to secure that bomb. As he then he then punches the ground as stones fly because of Araka's gravity push. And Ida's dodging them as Deku then jumps and hits Ida actually in the face as Naruto then grabs the bomb as they win. Actually took him 5 minutes at this point. As Deku then turns off his iron as then they go back. As, yeah, I'm going to end it off there. It's real quick, but watch it please. Thank you, and I hope you have a great day. Bye!